Okay, let's submit a print request. I'm already on the Let's Print website. You can see all of our options here. I have a file and I just want to print it on 12 by 18 paper, and I know that it's going to be a laser print, so I'm going to select Form Laser Printing here, or by clicking I want laser prints. Once the form opens, it will prompt you to log in using your CCS credentials, so type in your username and password. Once that loads, you will see the form populate at the bottom. It has all the important information up top here, including pricing. If you wanted to look at more of our papers, you could click here. Need extra help, create a Calendly. But here's our form. So the contact information is already filled out. You can change your first name here, but the last name in the CCS email remains the same. You're not allowed to change that or able to change that. All notifications and communications are sent to the email address, but we do have a place for a contact phone, so make sure to put a phone number that we can reach you at. Imaging Center staff, once they review your file, if there was anything incorrect or if they needed clarification, they would email you first. And if they didn't hear back from you, they would contact you by phone. CCS ID and your department. It'll tell you the turnaround times for each service based on the different forms. We print everything in the order that it was received, so it holds the date submitted and the time submitted. And then now it's going to be asking you information about your file. So I have a file ready to go. It's our pricing guide. It's 4 pages. You can see the thumbnails here. It's going to ask me, the form's going to ask me, what is your image size? So if you hover your mouse on the bottom left-hand corner of all of your pages or your images, you'll see what the image size is in inches. We're going to hop back here and we're going to type it in here, 7 by 8.5. How many pages are in your PDF? 4. If you write something here and it doesn't match up to the file that we download, we will contact you for clarification. You might have to submit an updated form, an updated file, I should say. What kind of paper are you printing on? Imaging Center paper, or I'm bringing in my own paper, so those bring up different options. We'll talk about bringing in your own paper in a later video. I'm going to select Imaging Center paper. You can drag or drop the file, or you can click to upload. You want to make sure that the image size or the file size is less than the 67.11 megabyte upload restriction. Okay, we're going to scroll down to paper size. Once you select any of these paper size options, it's going to list the papers that we have in that size. So we only have 8 paper options that come in 8.5 by 11 and 11 by 17. Oops, we have 4, and in 12 by 18, we have a lot. For the purpose of this example, I want to print this on a pretty plum punch cover. So we're going to select that. That comes in 12 by 18 only. So you know you're going to have to cut out your image because the image size is 7 by 8.5. Quantity here means how many copies of this do you want? I only want 1 copy, so I will receive 4 sheets of paper. Finishing options. These options are applied to all of the paper selections above. If you have other variations, you'll have to submit another form. So this form, you could submit 3 or 4 JPEGs if they're all going to be printed on plum punch, or they're all going to be printed on cardstock single-sided. But if you start submitting something, one file is supposed to be double-sided, one file is supposed to be single-sided, another file is supposed to be, business cards. All of those would be separate form submissions. All right, now getting into the finishing options. Print type, single-sided, double-sided. We're going to print our image right now single-sided. If you select double-sided, it will prompt you, how do you want to double-side this? On the short edge of the page, long edge of the page, or I don't know what that means and I might need extra help. If you select this option, our IC staff will contact you and walk you through which option you should select. We're going to stay with single-sided though. Crop marks, that's going to help you cut out the image, so I'm going to hit yes please. The Imaging Center will have rotary trimmers available during our open hours. If you print something in the IC, you are welcome to use those to cut. There are also public use rotary trimmers on the 2nd floor of the Taubman. Print multiple of the same type of image on one sheet. The best example is business cards. If you create a business card that's 3 by 2.5 or 2.5 by 3, whatever it is, we can print that multiple times on one sheet to save paper. So for the standard business card size, you would just be submitting a 2-page PDF at the size that you want your card. And we can fit between 21 or 24 business cards on one sheet of 12 by 18. Postcards, resumes, and other, which would be like, people usually submit stickers. So it's the same sticker over and over again. So it's the same flower over and over again. But for this example, we're gonna hit no thanks. Tile image, that means if you were printing like a large poster and you wanted it broken up into like several 12 by 18 sheets. This is used a lot by transportation design. For this example, we're not gonna worry too much about that. Finishing options, it allows you to select here if you wanted to bind this into a book with plastic oil or wire, if you wanted to stack cut it, if you wanted to stack cut and then bind. So that would be like, let's say you were printing a full bleed 8.5 by 11 process book and you printed it on 12 by 18 paper. If you select this option, our staff will cut 4 sides and then bind it into a book with either plastic oil or wire. And then saddle stitch booklet, which is kind of like the magazine. The machine will fold it and staple it for you in the spine. But for this example, we're going to hit no finishing options. If there were any additional comments, you could enter them here. You won't see this option. This is administrative, so we're going to ignore that. And then you're going to hit submit. Once you submit the job, if it goes through correctly, you'll see a green progress bar at the top that say that your responses were successfully submitted. Thank you. If you missed an option, or if you filled out something incorrect, or if your file size was over the maximum size limit, you would see a red bar here that says please try again. Once you have successfully submitted your print, you will receive an email saying, thank you, we've received your print. These are hours of operation. That just means that we've received it successfully. You will get an email response back during business hours with a price quote and a link to schedule an appointment. If you have any questions, please reach out. You can schedule an appointment formally through our Calendly. That would be for in-person or virtual, or we will have some walk-in opportunities for you. We can't wait to see you. Thank you for listening all about the Imaging Center. Let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.